Hey, what's up guys? My name is Matt Bogosian. I'm a real estate agent in Franklin, Tennessee. In today's video, I'm gonna give you guys a housing market update on the city of Franklin. And in order to do so, I'm actually gonna use active listing data instead of what we would typically use, which is last month's closed sales. I know if you're a homeowner or a seller, you just want to know, is my home worth more money? And can I get more money for it in the time frame that you need to? And then if you're a buyer, you're wondering, do I have to offer over? Can I offer under? What's going on with home values? So hopefully I can answer those questions for you at the end of this video. And remember, I am a real estate agent here in Franklin, Tennessee. So if you would like to explore the idea of buying a home here, just click the link down in the description below and you can schedule a quick 15-minute call with me. Okay, what you are looking at right now is the homepage of a service I subscribe to called Altos Research. Altos Research compiles all the active listing data from the prior week and the weeks before that, and it puts it into this nifty program for me. So let's just start out at looking at median list price. So this chart right here goes back 5 years. So over here on the very left is going to be August of 2019. Over here on the very right side is going to be August 16th, and these data points here are 90-day averages. I've found that using the 90-day average kind of smooths the graph out, and it helps me determine if there is a trend about to happen. So what I find interesting about the median list prices here, you can see where they actually peaked in March of 2022, and that was right around $2 million. They have since come down, and this is going to be right when we started to see interest rates go up in 2022, and they have been just kind of trading sideways a little bit, where they are at $1.4 million today. Now keep in mind, this is active listings from last week, but I think it gives a good idea of where things are going to be, of course, once they sell here in the future. So if you're a homeowner, you would have definitely got more money for your house back here in 2022. And really that was just because of the increased demand, not really that those houses were necessarily worth more or yours is worth any less today, but we just saw such huge spikes in demand during that COVID time that prices just went up. People were paying more. As you can see, right after that, it came back, and it's kind of in line. August 2022, if I move over to the left here, kind of aligns with where we were at in July of 2021, right before the peak actually started to happen. So right now, in looking at this graph, it is almost like half of 2021 and half of 2022 was basically just chopped off and eliminated, and that was during COVID because it was definitely not normal for things to go like that. But since then, prices have been increasing, but it's just been like a slow, steady increase. We're at 1.4 right now, and that's pretty normal and, in my opinion, pretty healthy. So if you're someone that bought your home in this 2022 period, maybe even a little bit into 2023, it's probably going to be pretty tough to sell your home and make a profit right now. I usually tell people it takes at least 2 years to break even, but honestly, in this scenario, it could take somebody a little bit longer depending on where they bought and when they bought at that time. So if you're someone that bought your home back in 2021 or before, you could definitely sell it now and make a good amount of money and move on with your lives. So that's the median list price. So let's look at the price per square foot. That's gonna be a similar story. Yeah, the graph is gonna, or chart's gonna look similar. You see where we spiked in 2022 in the spring, and then things just kind of started going sideways. We spiked at about $477 per square foot. And as of August 16th of this year, we're at $393. We haven't seen, things have been really slow in the housing market, honestly, nationally for the past 2 years. And we really haven't seen home values just slide or crash or anything like that. They've kind of just been trading sideways for a little bit. So $393 per square foot. All right, so let's look at inventory now. So here we've got inventory going back 5 years, and look, it's kind of flip-flopped from the prices. You can see when inventory got low is when we had high home prices. Inventory came back up, and it's kind of in line with where we were before COVID. Not even quite as high yet, but it's getting there. It's got a little ways to go, but we see home values start to kind of even out and not get as high or fluctuate as much. I also see inventory fluctuate a lot with the seasons, and that's pretty typical. You might see less inventory going into Christmas and January and February, and then you'll see it pop back up in the spring and summer. But that doesn't always hold true. I've seen that do the opposite, which can be strange, but it can happen. So inventory right now is at 350 single family homes as of the week of August 16th. We're still really short. Back in, let me just go back to 2019, we're at 465. So we're not at the inventory levels that we were at before COVID. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that number and see if we get up there. Either way, the market was fairly healthy back in 2019 from what I remember. So I don't really see a huge issue right now. In fact, I would like to actually see a little bit more inventory if possible. So I'll keep an eye on that. Okay, this is a pretty interesting one. Properties with price decreases. And you can see it's kind of all over the place. It's like here back in 2019, it came, here's in May, it went down, then it went back up into October. I typically feel like this is seasonal as well. So basically, as we get into, like right now it's August, and look, you're starting to see these price decreases creep up, but you've got a lot of people that wanted to sell their home this summer. They didn't do it yet. School has started, and now they're like, okay, let's take one last shot before we pull it off the market. I'm seeing a lot of that. So people are decreasing the prices with the hopes that they'll catch a buyer's eye and go under contract before we get into the fall and winter. Right now, we're starting to see properties with price decreases on the rise here in Franklin, 45.98%. So that means about for every 10 homes on the market, 4.6 of them are decreasing their list price. That doesn't mean that the values are going down. It just means that people are like, okay, the list is too high. Let's bring it down a little bit and get this thing sold before we go into the winter. And then the last thing I want to show you guys is called the Market Action Index. So the Market Action Index basically is, I'm going to go up here to the top. Altos Research will take all the active listing data that is on the right of my screen right here, and they will compile it into a number, and that number will help us determine if it's a seller's market or if it's a buyer's market. Now, Altos says if it's a 30 or below, we are in a buyer's market. 30 or above, we are in a seller's market. So right now it is showing a 36 and it's calling it a slight seller's advantage right now. So if you're a seller, you have a slight advantage. That's not as good as you've had in the past, that's for sure. Let me scroll down here. Look at some of these numbers in 2021 and 22. We got up to a point where it was an 88.48, which is like through the roof, major seller's advantage. That is insane. Pre-COVID, I mean, this is all pre-COVID. Pre-COVID, 50, 46, 40, 35. I mean, in 2020, we were around a 37, which is kind of close to where we are today, huh? The market action index actually did the same thing that we saw prices do. Of course, it spiked over COVID and it came back down. And it looks like historically, Franklin is usually, and this is about right from what I've seen, historically, Franklin is just a little bit of a seller's market. It's very highly desirable. So there's always people wanting to move here. So sellers always have that little advantage. There you have it, guys. Hopefully that helped you guys figure out what's happening here in the Franklin market. Like I said, my name's Matt Bogosian. I am a real estate agent or a realtor here in the Franklin area. If you're thinking about moving here, I've got a link down in the description that you can click and schedule a 15-minute phone call with me. I'd love to talk to you guys about the market, about the different neighborhoods, learn about your situation, and hopefully help you buy a home. I really appreciate you guys watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time. Bye.